gentlemen, today I'll be unboxing, reviewing and demoing the Zhiyun Crane V2. Let's get started. The Zhiyun Crane V2 comes packaged in a cardboard box, but inside this box is a tough plastic hard case with foam inside to hold all of our components. Once we open the hard case, we are greeted with a user guide booklet, which I'm sure I'll be reading plenty of times. It comes with a battery charger to charge the two 26-500 batteries that can last up to 12 hours depending on the weight of your setup and how you use it. That is a very good battery life for what this gimbal does. The batteries just snap right into the charger and you use the supplied USB cable to plug it into the charging dock to start charging your batteries. I believe the USB cable can also be used for firmware updates directly to the gimbal. We also get a thumb screw for mounting your camera to the gimbal, a lens support fitting, and a thumb screw to fit the lens support. This is the base of the crane and it is where the batteries will be inserted. And this right here is the beautiful gimbal. On first impressions, it seems very well made and extremely durable. Okay, so here it is, all balanced and ready to go. It's sitting on my handmade handlebar mount. If you want to know how to make that, check out the video. I'll try and remember to put it in the description below. If not, just check out my channel and you'll find the video. Zhiyun want $150 for their handlebar, and I made this for around $10 and it's awesome. So yeah, here it is, all balanced and good to go. I have my Lumix GH4 on top with the Lumix 14-140 lens. It's all balanced, as I said. I may do a how to balance video in the future, and I also have a Sigma 18-35 lens that is very heavy. I've played around with that, I've managed to get it to balance pretty well, but usually I like to use this lens. It's much more lightweight, easier to balance, and I've found just better results with it. I do have my eye on some other lenses to try out as well, but for now, that's it. The Zhiyun Crane V2 looks and feels extremely high quality. It doesn't feel flimsy and I'm not scared to give it a bit of a hard time. The controls are extremely easy to use, but the crane will take a little bit of getting used to get perfect shots. I'm still getting the hang of the crane as I've only had it for a couple of days. I mounted my Manfrotto quick release mount on the gimbal, which never moves, so once it's balanced, I should never have to balance it again unless I use a different camera or lens. The gimbal has three main modes of operation. Pan following mode. The camera pans left and right following the movement of the stabilizer, while the tilt and roll axes are locked. You can push the joystick up and down and this allows manual control of the tilt axes. Locking mode. This mode locks movement of all three axes to keep the camera still and stable. Push the joystick up and down and left and right allows manual controlling of the tilt axes and pan axes. Following mode. The camera pans and tilts following the movement of the stabilizer. Push the joystick left and right allows you to manually control the roll axes. You can even use the gimbal in low mode for those shots where you really need to get down low. So I currently own a DJI Ronin M that is also currently for sale. I just find the Ronin was extremely heavy, and yes, it does have a higher payload. I think that holds 3.6 kilos or 3,600 grams, whereas this is 1.8 kilos or 1,800 grams. So it holds half the weight, but for what I needed it for, this is more than enough. So the Ronin after a while get really heavy. I actually had to buy a back brace, like a support brace to hold the Ronin up, because holding it for even just 5 minutes, you just couldn't hold it up anymore. It got really heavy, especially with mine. I had the Sigma 18-35 lens on it with the GH4. I had a follow focus, I had monitors, all sorts of stuff on the rig. It was just way too much, and for the things that I was doing, I need something that's lightweight, easy, portable. Yeah. The Zhiyun Crane has a tripod mount on the bottom, so you can mount it on a tripod or any other rig and control it via the controls on the gimbal or via your smartphone. You can literally sit it on a tripod and just use it for panning, tilting or rolling shots. Because I also purchased the Panasonic cable, I can start and stop recording via a button on the gimbal. The only thing I don't like about it, and this is common among most gimbals, is that once it's balanced, it won't fit back in the case unless I return the gimbal to its original state and balance each and every time I use it. I'll probably just buy a larger case for it so that I can keep it balanced and ready to go at all times. Okay, so it's safe to say I'm absolutely in love with the Zhiyun Crane V2. I never owned the version 1, so I'm not really sure of what the differences are, but I'm absolutely in love with this. Super smooth footage. The motors are extremely quiet, so even to the point where if you had a microphone on top, you needed to record something with audio, I don't think you'd even hear them. The only time I've ever heard the motors is if I'm doing something where I'm pushing the gimbal against something that it's not really supposed to do, like trying to flip it upside down or something like that. That's the only really time I've heard the motors, or if it's not balanced correctly. So the number one thing with all gimbals is to make sure they're balanced correctly. This right here, the gimbal isn't even on, as you can see, but it's nice and balanced when I hold it there. So like I said, I may do a balancing video in the future. So I do plan to get some much faster lenses. This one there's a Lumix 14-140. It's 3.5 to I think 5.6 aperture, whereas I'm looking at getting one that's like an f2. So to do some real estate things and stuff like that, much more wide angle as well. But yeah, this will just suit the job perfectly for going down narrow hallways and things like that. It's easy to carry, it's just portable, in and out, turn it on, turn it off. It's very, very easy to use. Like I said, unlike the Ronin, it will take me 20 minutes, half an hour to set up, to make sure it was all balanced, to make sure I had my monitor on, everything plugged in. The Ronin was, nothing wrong with the Ronin, it's an awesome rig. It's just, for my purpose, the Zhiyun Crane is awesome. So yeah, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave you with some test footage that I did on the Zhiyun Crane. Some of it has been stabilized in Adobe Premiere and some of it hasn't. The only reason I would have stabilized it is because maybe the camera wasn't balanced properly at the time, and a lot of it was the footage from the day I got it and things like that. But overall, I'm extremely happy with the Zhiyun Crane. I'd highly recommend it. 2 massive thumbs up. As I said, if you want to know how to make this custom handlebar here, just check out my channel, it is on there. And it does an awesome job as well. It just helps with panning and holding the rig a little bit better with 2 hands than rather just the one all the time. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the test footage, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much for watching.